Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're brought to you today by the Living by Discovery Library, and they're all about helping you master the new rules of the attention economy. And today we are definitely diving deep. We've got a pile of sources here, and honestly, they all confirm something marketers kind of already feel in their bones. Video isn't just part of the game anymore. It pretty much is the game.
It really is. But the crucial point, and what our sources really dig into, is that the old playbook, it's dead. Just buying ads won't cut it.
Right. So we need to look at strategies that actually earn attention, not just, rent it for 30 seconds.
Exactly. We're seeing a fundamental shift away from those one-off advertisements and really towards building genuine brand intellectual property. So our mission today is to unpack these new content frameworks.
Frameworks like episodic series, AI personalization, stuff that turns that casual scroll into hopefully committed viewing.
That's the goal.
Okay, let's start unpacking this then. I think the foundation for this whole shift was summed up really well by Mark Robertson. He called online video the Swiss Army knife of internet marketing.
It's a great analogy, so versatile.
But here's the thing, if everyone has that knife now, how do you make sure yours is the one people actually want to pick up and use?
That's the million-dollar question in the attention economy, isn't it? And the answer starts, maybe surprisingly, with psychology. Biology, even.
Okay, tell me more. How does biology play into this?
Well, what's fascinating is the sheer biological advantage video has. We've got research confirming our brains process visual information something like 60,000 times faster than text.
60,000 times. That number is just wild when you think about it.
It is, and it directly links to memory retention. There's this thing called the picture superiority effect.
Right, I've heard of that. That's the one where we remember images much better than words.
Exactly. The stats are pretty stark.
Yeah.
We tend to remember about 80% of what we see compared to maybe only 20% of what we read, and even less, like 10% of what we just hear.
Okay, so seeing is remembering. That makes telling a visual story not just like a nice little add-on.
No, it's a requirement. It's a requirement for basic memory retention in this noisy world. The old marketing model, it was a one-way street, wasn't it? A brand just talking at you. Here are the features, here's the price.
Yeah, very transactional.
Totally. But this new storytelling model, it has to be a conversation. It pulls you into a narrative. You need a hero, some kind of conflict or resolution, something that creates an actual emotional connection.
And we saw the hero's journey framework mentioned in the sources, that classic storytelling structure.
But here's the critical insight for brands using it. Your product. It isn't Luke Skywalker.
Okay, so who is it?
It's Obi-Wan Kenobi, the mentor, the guide, the customer, your viewer. That's the hero on their journey. Your brand, your product, you're the essential tool or wisdom they need to overcome their problem, their conflict.
Okay, so the brand empowers the hero, who is the customer. That's a really important shift in perspective, making the viewer the protagonist. That's how you get authentic connection.
Precisely. It changes everything.
So we've got the psychology down. Visuals are faster, stick better, and need a story centered on the customer as hero. But how do you structure this? How do you keep that story going so it doesn't just disappear after one view?
Right. And that brings us squarely to the structure piece. The biggest game changer we're seeing, consistently across all the sources, is this move towards episodic content.
Episodic. Like a TV show, basically.
Exactly like a TV show or a YouTube series or a TikTok playlist. It's about creating a whole series, not just one video that's, here today, completely forgotten tomorrow.
And the idea is that gives people a reason to come back.
Yeah, it builds a real audience. It gives people something to anticipate, something reliable. It turns those casual watchers into more of a loyal community that's actually waiting for your next post.
We saw quite a few different examples of this working, like UK retailer Argos launching a specific social media series just to spotlight their top products.
Or Depop, the resale app. They have that Build a Fit playlist on TikTok. They interview people on the street about their outfits. It's a simple, repeatable format.
Yeah, fixed format, high frequency.
Yeah.
And it's not just consumer brands, right? We saw B2B examples too.
Oh, absolutely. In B2B, you see a lot of educational or interview series like Velo 3D. They do high-end metal 3D printing, pretty complex stuff.
Right.
They run a LinkedIn live session called 3 in 30. It's monthly, educational. They're actually using their complexity as an advantage, breaking down niche topics into these digestible, expected episodes.
So it can really take many forms then. Interview series, story series, fiction or nonfiction.
Educational tutorials like Velo 3D, Fixed frequency things like a recurring hashtag challenge maybe. Even seasonal content, you could argue, like the NBA's top 10 plays of the night. That's episodic in its own way.
Okay, so the key thing isn't the specific format as much as the serialized nature, the fact that it keeps coming back.
That's the core of it. That serialization, that predictability, it increases brand recall, and it really strengthens the bond with the audience. They know what they're getting and hopefully when they're getting it.
Okay, but I have to push back a bit here, practically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Creating a whole series, I mean, that sounds like a massive resource drain, especially if you're, say, a smaller company.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
How can you commit to a whole season of high-quality stuff? Are we talking like Netflix-level production budgets now?
Yeah.
Because that's just not realistic for most.
Right. And that fear, that very practical concern, it sets up the next crucial piece perfectly. The smart content strategy, the one that actually works without breaking the bank, relies on two pillars: ruthless repurposing and smart personalization.
Okay, repurposing, we hear that word a lot. But doing it well seems to be the tricky part. What does a smart repurposing flow actually look like?
It means working smarter, not harder. You start with one high-value, probably long-form anchor piece of content. Think like a 45-minute webinar, a really in-depth interview, maybe a keynote speech you gave.
Okay, so one big rock.
Exactly. That anchor piece is your wellspring. Then you strategically cart it up. The full audio might become a podcast episode.
Mm-hmm.
Key 3 to 5 minute sections. Those become standalone YouTube videos. The absolute best, most punchy 15-second sound bites, maybe with some slick motion graphics. Those are your Instagram reels, your TikToks, your YouTube shorts.
Got it. So it's planned fragmentation. Vogue is amazing at this, right?
No, they're masters, absolute masters of maximum reach with minimum reinvention. They'll film, say, an 11-minute YouTube video like Kendall Jenner's makeup routine or something.
Yeah, seen those.
And then they will surgically chop that into maybe a dozen different 16-second viral clips specifically for TikTok. Each one is cut to the rhythm and style of that platform. It's incredibly efficient.
Okay, so repurposing is pillar one for making episodic content feasible. What's pillar two?
Pillar 2 is personalization, and this is where AI really starts to supercharge things. We saw a stat that something like 72% of customers now only want to engage with content that's personalized for them.
72%.
Yeah.
That basically makes generic mass marketing obsolete, doesn't it?
Pretty much, or at least far less effective. People expect content to feel like it was made, just for them, or at least relevant to their specific needs or interests.
And this is where the tech gets, well, honestly, a bit mind-bending.
Right.
There are tools now, like HeyGen or Be Human.
Yeah, those platforms are powerful. You, as the creator or the brand, record one single video message, just one.
Okay.
And then the AI tool can generate thousands, even hundreds of thousands of customized versions. It can swap out the name, reference a viewer's specific city, maybe mention their purchase history, all dynamically inserted into the video.
Wow. Okay, that's wild. The Publicis Group example was pretty stunning. They used this tech for internal comms.
They did. They sent 100,000 unique video thank you notes to their employees all around the world. Each person got a video, seemingly from leadership, but it mentioned their specific team, maybe referenced recent achievements. It felt incredibly personal.
That's using AI to scale authentic connection, not just blast out messages. That's a big difference.
Huge difference. And just looping back quickly to our earlier point about visual processing speed, we can't forget the role of motion graphics here either.
Good point. How do they fit in?
Well, they're essential for simplifying complex ideas, right? Perfect for explainer videos, but also in a super crowded feed, just adding movement kinetic text, animated logos, transitions. It leverages that visual processing advantage. It grabs the eye way faster than a static image ever could.
Makes sense. Okay, let's pivot a bit. I want to look at a concrete case study that seems to pull all these threads together. State Farm.
Ah, Jake from State Farm.
Exactly. Insurance is, let's be honest, often seen as one of the, quote, most boring categories on earth. Yet somehow State Farm and Jake have become part of the cultural conversation.
It's a fascinating case. And the key question is how? How did they pull that off? A big part of it is how they treat their brand symbol, Jake. He's not just a character in a 30-second ad slot.
Right. They treat him more like a creator.
Or an influencer.
Exactly like a creator.
Yeah.
He has a consistent presence. He shows up in relevant cultural moments. You see him hanging out with Travis Scott or showing up at Caitlin Clark's senior night game. He was even a Jeopardy clue.
So it's about cultural relevance and top-of-mind awareness, not direct selling all the time.
Precisely. State Farm is very deliberate about this. They talk about marketing needing to capture current demand, sure, but also needing to generate future demand. Jake lives squarely in that future demand bucket. His job is to build familiarity, trust, and that emotional connection, so when you do need insurance.
Yeah, that was the first name you think of.
Okay. But they've done more than just Jake, right? What about this Gamerhood thing?
Right. Gamerhood is maybe their biggest IP creation project. It started back in 2022, primarily as a competition series on Twitch.
On Twitch. For an insurance company.
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive, but it was smart. They put popular gaming creators in a house together, kind of like a reality show. And then they introduced unexpected disasters. You know, a burst pipe, a small kitchen fire, things insurance covered.
Ah, so it was subtle education disguised as entertainment, targeting a younger, digitally native audience.
Exactly. It was classic episodic content. They built momentum over 3 seasons. Season 3 apparently pulled in over 23 million views, which is huge.
That's impressive viewership.
Yeah.
But the really interesting insight here, the deep dive takeaway, is what happened with Season 4.
Season 4 didn't just stay on Twitch. It premiered on Amazon Prime Video.
Prime Video. Okay, that's a big deal.
It's a massive deal. Moving Gamerhood to Prime Video is like the ultimate validation of their entire IP strategy. It means the show itself has genuine distribution value. It has enough gravity to sit alongside mainstream entertainment programs.
So they didn't just create an ad campaign that ran its course.
Yeah.
They built an actual intellectual property asset.
That's the key difference, an asset that can be licensed, distributed, potentially generate revenue on its own. That's the long game.
And looking even further ahead, where does this go next? The sources seem to suggest the final stage is making this IP interactive.
Yeah, that seems to be the next frontier. The line between just watching content and actually, doing something with it, shopping, exploring, learning, it's blurring really fast.
We saw examples like Hyundai with an interactive car tour.
Right, an interactive video where you, the viewer, could basically walk through a new Hyundai Elantra, but the tour customized itself based on the features you said you cared about.
Okay, that's cool. And shoppable videos becoming more common, too.
Definitely. Like Macy's using a hands-free, voice-activated system during their live streams. You're watching, you see something you like, you just say add to cart, and it happens without you leaving the video.
Seamless. And then there's the more immersive tech like AR and VR.
Augmented reality, AR, letting you use your phone to virtually place, say, a new sofa from a furniture brand right into your own living room to see how it looks.
That moves content from just entertainment to actual utility.
Exactly. It makes the content useful. And VR offers even more immersive possibilities for brands to build worlds or experiences. So, yeah, interaction seems key to maximizing the value of this brand IP going forward.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this all up.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, what's the core takeaway? What's the fundamental pivot point we've identified here?
I think the main thing is this shift in mindset. You have to stop thinking about video as just a disposable ad format, something interruptive you buy space for.
And start thinking about it
as serialized intellectual property. Content that you own that builds an audience over time that has value in itself. And critically, it needs to be supported by smart tech, efficient repurposing, and scalable AI personalization.
And executing that IP strategy, it requires the right tools. The sources mention things beyond just video editors.
Yeah. Absolutely. To do this well, you need the right infrastructure. Things like media databases to find relevant journalists or influencers, media monitoring to track where your content is showing up and how it's being received, social listening tools.
Social listening seems crucial for finding the stories, right? For understanding the audience's problems.
Definitely. Social listening isn't just about tracking brand mentions anymore. It's essential for identifying the real conflicts, the actual problems your audience is facing. That's how you find the problem stage for your next hero's journey narrative. And of course, AI solutions underpin a lot of the personalization and efficiency now.
So the message really is, you have the frameworks like episodic content and the hero's journey. You have the technology repurposing workflows, AI personalization, interactive elements. You even have the psychological cheat codes like leveraging visual processing speed and picture superiority effect.
All the pieces are there to build your narrative and truly earn attention in this economy, not just keep trying to buy it.
So maybe the final thought to leave people with comes back to that hero's journey.
The core lesson is simple but powerful. Every effective story needs a protagonist, your audience, a real problem they face, and a resolution. As you sit down to design your next content series, maybe the question to ask is,
What complex challenge, what problem out there in your world is waiting for a protagonist? What conflict needs exploring? And how can your brand, acting as that wise mentor or providing that essential tool, help guide them to a resolution in a way that really sticks in their mind?
nailing that. That's the formula. That's how you move beyond ads and start creating genuine content IP that earns attention.